So within this chart, I wanted to kind of picture and paint a picture of the mirror principle, as above, so below. That a lot of the power and the wealth within the community has accumulated in the hands of the traditionalists. And it has left a category of black people within the community at the bottom. So you'd see that a lot of black people who have the privilege of participating in the ruling class, they are living out their lives, they are very successful. But then there's another category of black people who are ultimately the single mothers, who are the untouchables, gender nuanced people, the working class, who often have to work in this broken system. As we have discussed before, that the ideology rather, of black traditionalism is what governs the lived experiences of all black people within the community. Black male traditionalism prioritizes the experiences of cisgender black men over everybody else, which then results in a form of cisgender privilege or black male privilege. In contrast, while women, their children, and gender nuanced people are then left to live at the bottom. Single mothers that are then left to raise their children by themselves then find themselves stuck in a cycle of poverty. You then also have the untouchables who are the products of broken homes because of the cultural motifs that govern our lived experiences as gender nuanced people, as Mukimne. And so we are not only left outside of the traditional household, but we're also left outside of the collective. And then lastly, you have a lot of Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and the Zillennials who have to ultimately work within this broken system of capitalism. Now, the system isn't as bad as you think, right? Because this idea is that this intra class struggle, as we talked about within our video on class consciousness, is something that has always happened within the context of the black community. That we saw this during the civil rights era with the northern blacks and the southern blacks. So this sort of structure is a part of our cultural and historical past. So then the idea is that as a collective, as a people, we then need to begin to reimagine the way that we understand ourselves as black people. That the solution then is motherism. The solution then is a green leap forward. It is giving all of your people a place to be. We could mitigate the effects of climate change and then redevelop our own neighborhoods. We then could begin the work to start our own form of reparations as a people and do the work to clean up our own neighborhoods the way that everybody else does. Otherwise, the consequence would be that people who then find themselves outside the realm of cultural intelligibility will then begin to divest and will go off and live their own lives. As Mukimne, we then have to then formulate an understanding of our own consciousness as black people born into their nuanced bodies within this historical context. And then lastly, the third generation, the Zillennials, will then have to do the work without the traditionalists to fight for our own future because that is our future and our future is green. So we're in a very transformative time period in Black history. We are living in this post-materialistic world, and we are in a new era of Black consciousness, which is motherism.